Hello, everybody in HDEC 103, Essential Skills for Human Service Workers. It's Patricia, your facilitator for the summer. This is my third recording of this video. I hope I get it right this time. Welcome to week 3. In week 3, first of all, let me thank you all for the rich and challenging conversations in week 2. I hope you continue to take the time to read your peer thoughts. They are valuable. They are insightful. They are challenging our thinking. I appreciated it so much. I have written down so many questions that I still have to think about. The discussions will always be accessible throughout the entire course. I just moved the most current one to the top of the discussion list. You can join the discussion at any point. Not that the discussion has finished or the thinking is finished. We're just taking it into the next conversation. So this week, in our week 3 piece, we are looking at, let me make sure I've got it here. Oh my goodness, I had it all set up. Here it is. We are looking at we're moving into descriptive narratives and anecdotals. This week we get to do submissions to the Dropbox. What I'm asking you to do this read and explore the descriptive narrative work. Read and explore the anecdotal records. Read and explore the learning stories. You are going to submit to the Dropbox a descriptive narrative or an anecdotal observation. One or the other, not both. You may choose any video in the collection you want. If you want to choose Mint Tea and Chat, by all means, or any other video, just tell me in the observation which video you chose. We also have a discussion thread available for you this week to join in and have a conversation about. Let's go see what we're doing. Let me get it up here and let me get us down to here. Stay with me. We're almost there. I know it seems scattered. There's too many windows to click. Here we go. So here we are at the door of our classroom. We're ready to begin week 3, and we click on the content. What we're going to be doing in week 3 is looking at ways of knowing. We're going to be looking at narrative and anecdotals for week 3. These are the videos that we can choose. Any of these videos will fit. And here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about descriptive narratives as usually the first form of writing. The narrative, there's a reading to help you. And again, it's based in early care and learning, but it is transferable to education assistant work. It is transferable to Indigenous human service worker. It is transferable to anybody doing observations. We all, in all professions, use all these types of observation formats. The descriptive narrative is also known as a running record. And when we look at the template, it will make sense. It is written in the present tense. We're doing it in the moment we observe things. We are observing as much as we can what we're seeing. It is as if we were on the phone and describing something happening. It's as if we're a newscaster and telling you what's happened, a sportscaster, telling you what's happening in the game right in the moment that it's happening. They are usually done in 3 columns. The time, 9 o'clock, 9:02, 9:03, 9:17. So we know what the flow of the observation is. There's the actual observation of what we're seeing, hearing. And then there's the comments, what I'm thinking about it as I go along, questions I'm wondering about in the moment. take a look at an example of a descriptive narrative. And if you choose this format, then submit your example based on the video you chose to the Dropbox. I also want you to read about anecdotal records. Anecdotal records are different. They are written in the past tense. We take our notes in the moment, and then we sit down afterwards and we write it all up. What we saw, what we heard in the past, using past tense language. They are a replay of the instant, the event or the observation. When I observed them on the playground, I saw them doing, I wondered what, so we're looking in the past tense. The distinct difference is that an observer can interact while observing and then record what happened afterwards. So we may be playing with the children, or we may be working with a student, or we may be in the program itself, working with a family or working with something. And then afterwards, we sit down and write our notes from what happened. For some of us, journaling becomes that form. We journal everything that happened during the day. And then at the end of the day, we sit down and write up something of significance about that day. There is a specific format that has a heading. The observations focus on who, what, when, where, and how. Maybe some background information, but then in the comments, the interpretation, we include the why. Why do I think this was happening? Why did this connect? For some of us who use the developmental thinking piece, we may want to relate to a theorist. For some of you that are doing human development right now or have done human development courses in the past, you might want to reference, oh, this is definitely an example of Piaget's stages of or Erickson's stages of. That's fine. Put it in. Or this might be an interpretation if you're familiar and comfortable in the work of the medicine wheel and you want to reference that piece, then reference it. But reference it. These are other people's ideas, generational ideas. They come from somewhere else, so they need to be referenced. There is a sample anecdotal form for you to take a look at. And if you choose to submit an anecdotal record, remember, narrative or anecdotal, you have that opportunity. Let's go on to the third format, is a learning story. And learning stories came out of the Te Whakaari work in New Zealand. It means a common place that we all work from. Now, in British Columbia, the early learning framework goes from birth to about grade 3 in the school system. But honestly, we use learning stories right into post-secondary as well. So there are great things to use from it, and they are transferable to the education system and generally thinking about how we see the world and how we interpret the world. So I encourage you to read the learning story work. There are sample learning stories. We will be submitting a learning story, but I have dated it for June 9th. Submit it earlier if you so choose. But this week, I'm asking for either a narrative or an anecdotal. I want one observation, one of those two this week. Let's take a look. Oh, what else have we got this week? We've got, we have the learning story form as well this week so that you can see what a learning story format looks like as well. Let's go back up to content section. And let's go to the assignment section. I've added a video clip here on how to use the Dropbox for an assignment submission. We are submitting the work of, oops, sorry, too far. What we're looking at this week is submitting one of the following. So we're going to submit a narrative or an anecdotal. We have the templates available for you. The rubric piece is there. I think all the information you need is there. There is a discussion for us to join into this week as well. If that's something you want to be a part of, by all means, join us on the common discussion board. But I think that's it. You have 3 sections to read: descriptive narrative, anecdotal observations, and learning stories. You must submit an anecdotal or a descriptive narrative. And please continue the conversations on the discussion board. Got a busy week coming up. See you online.